Who's the best right back in the world? Who's the best right back in the world? Who's the best right back in the world?
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
It's the pink after Liverpool 2, Tottenham Hotspur 1. In the Capital One Cup, I think it's called now. That puts us through to the quarter.
It's not.
Call that, no.
The English Football League Cup.
No, there's a sponsor.
EFL,
There must be a
no,
sponsor.
EFL Cup, English Football League.
Yeah, the EFL Cup.
England haven't sponsored this tournament. I know we're post-Brexit, but the country of England have not sponsored. I'm going to look this up. When next break when I ask a question, I'm going to look
the pink
this up.
sponsored by Richmond Reserve. Woodford Reserve Bourbon.
I'm going to look into this.
Get on with it, John.
Liverpool. Oh, hey, Craig Hannon, you've got a mouth. Liverpool 1-2-1. What do you think?
Is this me? I think, Shankly wasn't far wrong whenever he said the two best teams in Merseyside were Liverpool and Liverpool reserves, because, this is, we talk about how good we've been all season, and then we can rest Mane and Coutinho and Firmino and all our top performers throughout this season, and bring in Daniel Sturridge and Divock Origi and the like, and they can do that. I thought first half was a strange one. We get the early goal, and it was I didn't think it was a brilliant performance by us by any means, but I don't think we were troubled much. I don't think we had any reason to get at Tottenham. It just seemed like we went 1-0 up, and it was sort of almost a little bit easy getting to the first half. Second half, I thought we were excellent. I thought we livened up the crowd, livened up. Divock Origi was just it was something else for half an hour there in the second half, and there's loads to be positive about. But yeah, we're through the next round. We're in the quarterfinals, and happy days. I want Wembley.
Yeah, the quarterfinals of this cup. Probably the cup does not have a sponsor following the withdrawal of the Capital One after 4 years of the Capital One Cup. I mean, who knew that really? But Tim, Craig's right, isn't he? Loads of positives to take from it. We'll get into all the other stuff and how it was nervy towards the end. But generally speaking, in the quarterfinal, there was a few lads who haven't played for a while or played at all who did well, and you've got to be pleased.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Yeah, I mean, like Craig said, it did look a bit nervy, and I think some of that maybe come down to maybe an unusual shape or a different shape, because I guess a lot of these lads have been practicing and training in the shape we use in the league, and that was quite clear today, like a 4-4-2 diamond, wasn't it? Really, I thought with Kev Stewart was sitting, Grudis was at the tip, and Wijnaldum and Ajari were shooting side to side, and I think sometimes I thought Tottenham beat our press a bit too easily in the first half, to be honest with you, because I don't think the players really knew. Potentially didn't know when they should go, when they don't need to go, because the system's changed. But once we settled in, I thought it was really, really good. And like you say, there's lads who haven't been playing that much, like Craig said, like Origi, who, when he comes on for 20 minutes at the end of the game, doesn't seem I think he frustrates a lot of people. But you can see from today that once he starts the game, once he gets those initial 20 minutes out the way, and he's sort of attuned to the pace of the game, he's on it. He's really, really good. And like I say, it's good that those lads can get a game, and then you got the young lads like the best right back in the world, and Ajari and Kev Stewart, who I thought had a good first half and maybe faded a bit as the game wore on, but it was good to see.
Dan, Tim makes a very good point to us to start there about the diamond. It's a really hard formation to play, and one of the things about 13-14 where I don't feel like the team got enough credit and the manager didn't get enough credit was how well they made the diamond work. If you go back in English football, there's not many teams who've made that diamond work in terms of how it's played, and it's really hard, especially on the midfield too. The defensive midfielder knows what he's doing. The attacking midfielder knows what he's doing. The two behind them, it's very, very difficult for. And I thought Rodgers in that 13-14 season did it brilliantly, and they adapted. There was one game where they first brought it in when they all looked lost, and then after that they were spot on, and that's training ground work. These lads haven't had training ground work on this formation. They haven't had training ground work, as Tim says, as a team. It was all thrown in, and so it's understandable. I mean, the manager's made the choice to go with it, and I think he's going with it because he wants to play the two up front, and you understand that. But you sort of understand why, at times, the midfield looked a little bit unsure, because it's not just a new midfield in terms of playing together, it's a brand new system, and as I say, it is very, very difficult for them two lads in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tim hit the nail on the head. The first 10-15 minutes I felt looked a bit like that, because they were all getting used to playing that formation, because although Klopp said in the past that we'll use different formations, the one that we're going to use most of the time is the 4-3-3, and I think that a lot of the players training day in, day out will be playing to that formation. So, plus adding to the fact that it was lads who aren't getting a game and young lads coming in, it was always going to take time to settle in. It's a really difficult position, and like you say, especially with like younger lads coming in, and even Wijnaldum today, he's played in a totally different role than he's played all season so far. So it's going to take a few, 10-15 minutes to adjust to it. But once we did, it was pretty comfortable. And the thing I took most from tonight was it just screams how happy the camp must be in general, because it's as if they all know something's brewing and they all want to be a part of it. And they all played tonight like they all want to play at the weekend. And you've got players like Wijnaldum, who I wouldn't say he's lost his place to Chan, because that'd be mad. But, he didn't get his place back against West Brom. I wouldn't have thought he's going to start at the weekend with him playing the full game tonight and Chan only coming on for a few minutes. So you've got players like that who were desperate to get back in and make the impression, and Sturridge another one. And it was just good all round. But as soon as we settled into the rhythm, I felt up until like 74 minutes, it was pretty comfortable. And then something daft happens and it shows how football can just change in an instant. But even after that, I just think it was a comfortable performance and a good performance all round. Like,